Hey everybody, how is it going? So today I'm going to share with you 6 of the best from one of my current favourite openings, if not my current favourite opening. And what I'm particularly happy about is that it's against 1d4. I've been looking for something against 1d4 for so long. I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried playing the Dutch, I've tried playing the Benoni, the Benko Gambit, the Budapest, all kinds of stuff, and I just never found something that A, I was comfortable with, and B, just felt like I was in a position just to keep attacking, you know? Until I came across the Charlick Gambit, or the Hartlaub Charlick Gambit, which goes like this: d4, e5. So this is the England Gambit. And basically white has to take here. If white doesn't take, black is already equalised. They take, you push d6, they take again, and from this position, I've played 33 games, I've won 64%. Now with the black pieces, boys and girls, that is a result, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you 6 of the quickest wins in the Hartlaub Charlick Gambit. So basically all you have to do is, if you want to know how well you're doing in something, you can use the chess.com Explorer. You can go view all games from current position. You can also go to openingtree.com and import your chess.com games into there, or your Lichess games into there, and explore positions as well. That's also really, really good. But without further ado, oh yes, so if you click that, you basically get to this, right? And then all I've done is I've scrolled down and I've looked for games where I've won within 20 moves. Okay, so let's dive in. Right, so we have d4, e5 takes, and d6. Now this is not common. D4 players will see this very, very rarely. Like, we're talking 1%, less than 1% of the time. So, very much like, other gambits, maybe like the Scandinavian, where, they've already got a piece that's slightly offside because it's already captured in the centre. If you offer them another one, like with the Danish as well, they've already got a double pawns. It's already kind of in enemy territory. It's going to be difficult to defend. So they are very, very likely to capture again. And here they do, you recapture with a bishop. So what's happened here, right? White has one central pawn, we have none. So we have given up one central pawn, but in return, we have initiative. We have a piece developed, we're looking down at h2. So in this game, they play knight out, and this is the other thing. Even if you might be a beginner, this is so easy to remember, right? They pull their knight out, you bring your opposite knight out, right? They do this knight out, you bring the opposite knight out. Okay. Next moves, what we're going to do is almost all the time hit the knight there. We're going to put our queen here. We're going to long castle. We're going to aim for a punk attack against the queen. Right, they push e3. They do this a lot. They don't seem to like pushing e4 here. So e3 does kind of block in the bishop, but they want to get this bishop out. They want to get the king safe. They're nervous about, the openness in the middle of the board. So now you fly out. As soon as that e-pawn moves, you can fly out and pin the knight. Knight's now pinned on the queen. They will block. This is fine. Queen e7. You have to remember this, right? We're going for an attack against the queen, but we want to attack the queen with the rook on d8. So we get the queen off of there. They go ahead and castle, thinking, phew, I've got to safety. You castle long. This is important. We've sacrificed Dave the d-pawn, right? We now have a rook lined up against the lady herself. And can you see the trap? I've done 1 or 2 videos on this already, right? The trap is bishop takes h2, hit the king, remove the king's defender, and then we win the queen. So it's not a massive, massive material advantage because you're going to give up a bishop and a rook for a pawn and a queen, but not to be sniffed at all the same. Now, very, very often you will find that they will spot the discovery, right? At the beginner level, they will rarely spot the discovery. And they'll block with something like this, or sometimes I'll get the knight coming out to d2. This is not a problem. I remove the knight here. The king's knight is very often, if the king's castle kingside, that king's knight on f3 or f7 is very, very often a key defender, most particularly of h2. Okay, it blocks g2, but it defends, it's a second defender along with the king of h2. So they bring their bishop out here. In this game, I simply lift the queen. Just lift the queen to e5, right? My opponent is rated 1371 in blitz and has so far spent 17 seconds of his allotted 5 minutes, right? And he uses a further 17 seconds. So equal to the entire amount of time that he spent so far in the entire game to come up with the move pawn to e4. I spy with my little eye something beginning with boom. It's just checkmate. 11 moves. Thank you very much. Thanks for playing. Let's do another one. Okay, opponent now is a 1400. Okay, there we go. England Gambit, Charlick Gambit. Accepts, bishop takes. Knight out. What do we do? Opposite knight. Okay, so we're going for a fianchetto here. This is not uncommon. We see this. We see this. We just carry on. Hit the knight with the bishop. Right? Bishop fianchettos. Queen e7. You've seen all this before. King there. Castles. Right. Now, point is, we still have a rook lined up on an open file, blocked only by our own bishop. Okay? So opponent now pushes b3. Oblivious. Oblivious. So now I can just take g3. It's the pawn in front of the king, completely there for the taking because I've got a discovered attack on the queen. That rook is defended 1, 2, 3 times. King, queen and knight. So he can't do anything. Okay, bishop just comes back. Easy. Now he fianchettos his bishop on the queen side there. I just play knight f6 because guess what? If you're going to take that, I'm going to recapture the g pawn. Thank you very much. I'm going to put a rook on g8 on an open file pointed directly at the head of state. So go figure. All right, so c4. Now I bring my rook across here because I've actually got the battery against the e2 pawn. Knight comes out, and now I take out the knight. I take out the knight. It can capture with this pawn, but that leaves him with 3 pawn islands. He captures with the bishop, then the king is slightly exposed now. Yes, this pawn is now defended 3 times as well, so that is no longer our target. So what should our target be? Queen e5. We've seen this before. Queen e5. And this is a 1400 player. He's used 35 seconds of his clock, and he gets checkmated by the queen. Happy days. What's not to like? Here's another one. This is a 1300. Da-da-da-da-da. Bang. e3. Very common move. I don't know why they play e3. So I just spend some time bringing out my knight, making like I might be casting this way. Who knows? They bring out their bishop. That's not blocking the queen. This is okay. Just bring out a knight. It's just develop. You just develop. It almost doesn't matter what order you develop in. Bring out my bishop, pin the knight. What's he going to do? Is he going to castle? He castles. Okay. Now I come in because I'm taking advantage of the fact that this knight is pinned. So I'm now attacking the knight and attacking the bishop. Bishop comes back. Not a problem, queen e7, right? You with me on this? This is such an easy, trappy opening. Okay, now bishop d2, so he's blocked off the queen line. Okay, we are unflustered. That's a good word, unflustered, right? We castle anyway. We're just lining things up for the future. Look at our development here. We've completed development. This is move 9. We've completed development. White, at this point, has to get their knight out and has to move another piece before they can get their queen out. So white is still 3 moves at least away from completing development, whereas we are cooking on gas. Okay, and now he moves the bishop out of line of the queen. So what would you play in this situation? Okay, I decide to go for the throw. Okay, knight takes f3, so we trade knights on f3. Now, I don't think he's going to capture with the pawn. I think he's going to capture with the bishop. But no. Captures with the pawn. See, the problem is, so I mean, so why did I move? Why did I do this move? Okay, I want to open up this line. Okay, there we go. He takes with the pawn, and now just bang. Pawn takes h2, check, and he resigns. He sees he's lost his queen. If we play on a bit, it'd be king takes, bishop, we take. He'll recapture somehow. I can save this bishop now. And look, here we're only +1 in material, but look where that king is. I might even just drop the bishop out here, you know. Queen can't go there or there, but this king has just got nothing. This knight's not playing yet. This rook's not playing yet. This bishop's very bad. Right? We should just now, maybe even rook d8, try and simplify down. Yeah, it's not going to end well. Or even maybe not even drop the bishop, drop the bishop back here and just throw these pawns up. Something like that. Anyway, so we're 3 down, 3 to go. Let's carry on. This is another 1330. So at this point in Blitz, I'm 1352. There we go, we've seen this all before. And e3 again. Knight f6, he brings out a knight. I bring out my opposite knight. He pushes a pawn forward for some reason. I pin the knight. Yeah, this is all the same moves. Right, now here we go. Here's knight d2. Knight d2, I've seen this a lot. What do? Queen e7. Right, same old moves. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Queen comes out here, attacking this pawn. You know the next move. All together now, long castles, okay? So this is all good. Now this trick isn't on because the queen's moved, but we're still going after the king's head. He brings the bishop down, right? Just develop, push forward, open up the king side. Take back with the queen. Again, we see the queen coming to e5, right? Stop me if you've heard this one before. Attacks the queen, now what? I might have shared this game once before actually because it's an absolute beauty. Right, queen comes up along to h5. So now the queen's teaming up with the light squared bishop on the light squares instead of the dark squares, right? Should white castle now, we might just, you know, come back or, well, no, castle now, it's checkmate actually, because we've still got the bishop looking there. You see the power of developing this bishop at the cost of a pawn, but the fact that that pawn has gone is actually an imbalance that we can use in our favour, right? So he can't castle, he takes the bishop, now what do? Right, how do I recapture? Rook. Absolutely the rook. I don't want to open up the king, right, by recapturing the pawn. I don't want to create an isolated pawn, and I don't want to block off my rook. So 100% we recapture with a rook, and now look, there is a square on the board over which black has demonic control, right? We possess that square on the board, and it's the square d1, right? We've got a rook, we've got a bishop, and we've got a queen all lined up against that square. Opponent misses the point, okay? So simply rook d1 check. The king can't go there because of the rook, can't take the rook because it's defended by the bishop, can't go here, can't go there. There's only one legal move. Queen has to take, we take the queen, they take this, and I don't even bother to capture the bishop. It's checkmate. Lovely, beautiful sex on a stick. Right, here's one. So now we're in the, oh, this is a rapid. This is a 10-minute rapid game. My opponent's rated 1518 on 1522. Blah, blah, blah. Knight out, what do? Opposite knight. Knight out. Pin the knight, right? Bringing this knight out can be useful, but it's not as important as bringing the bishop out here and preparing to castle long at the earliest opportunity. So, you know, when that knight comes out, you do that. e3, yet again. Queen e7, boring, boring, boring. How many times have we seen this? Yes, bishop e2, yes, yes, yawn, yawn, yawn. And he doesn't castle, obviously. Brings the knight out here. Now we have a variety of tensions going on. The knights are facing off, the bishops are facing off. I start by taking out the bishop. Queen takes. Note that the queen and the king are now in line, right? I take knight, pawn takes. Now we have a face-off of queens, right? Knight f6. I'm not worried at all. If he wants to take here, I'll recapture with the bishop. I'm going to centralise my rook. Okay, he comes in with an attack on the knight. Take it, it's yours. I don't mind. You know, he could even do me a favour. You know, this, and then I'm threatening a rook to e8, and that would be trouble. Takes. I take back with the queen. Yeah. Now taking back with the pawn was an idea, but it would have left me with ugly pawns. A bit harder to defend if we do find ourselves in an endgame. Yes, we know. Right, now he castles long. Now rook h to e8, and the queen puts herself on d2. Now, pop quiz. Spot a tactic now for black, right? What? Oh, shoot that fucking cockerel. Right, what do we notice? What's changed with this move? Well, the king and the queen are now in line. Okay, they're on a diagonal. Okay, that means dark squares, right? They're on the same colour. Okay, and the queen is lost. There's nothing that can block. The queen is lost, and we just now sweep up the remains, and that's it. Okay, one more for the road. Now this is one that I played on Lee Chess earlier on, so I'm going to flip the board here. I've just pulled it into the analysis board on chess.com. So this is a 5-minute blitz. Now you see here, we've got the eval on now, so it's plus 1.8 for white. It likes this for white, right? Still likes white, 1.4, 1.3, right? However, it doesn't tend to work out well. Knight comes out. Pushes the pawn. He's going to fianchetto, that's fine. Hit the knight anyway with the bishop. We want to castle the king on the queen side as soon as we can. Bishop fianchettos, queen e7, right? It's all the same moves. He castles. Computer didn't like that very much. We castle, okay? Now, again, as before, you know, in previous episodes, we've got rook lined up with the queen. Knight blocks on d2. We've seen this before. Now Harry gets involved, right? We're just going to bust open on this side. And this is a beauty, guys. This really is. Ooh, the computer does not like that one bit. No, sir, not one bit. Okay, I bring out my knight. Maybe inaccurate. Bishop fianchettos on that side. And off goes Harry. Now it's 1.8 in black's favour. Okay. So, what's going on? We've got, you see, it's just like eyes on everything. This is what I love about this opening. And we've got options. Knight out here. And now it's -7. -7? Right, I take out the knight. Bishop recaptures. Okay. Now I'm not worried about this. Bishop takes here, I can push b6, king b7, the bishop's trapped. Okay, so we take, and they push. Now, this is an interesting one. What does black play next? Pause if you need to. My bishop is under attack. Okay. Now, I don't know if this is completely accurate, but I just had a feeling. I got a feeling, right? I've got, this is now, we've opened up this diagonal, right? Now, a lot of you may be thinking, pawn takes g2 check, right? But pawn takes, sorry, h2. Pawn takes h2 check, the king hides in the corner with my pawn as a human shield, and suddenly he's got an impenetrable box there, yeah? Can bring his bishop back here or back here, and he just goes full turtle on me. No, no. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to throw our rook into the game. Okay? This is the idea. I figure if you want to take my pawn Yeah, you take my pawn. I think I can win this, right? Anyway. He takes the bishop. He takes the bishop. Bishop c5. I want his bishop out of the way, right? If his bishop takes, because of this diagonal that's been opened up, it's an unstoppable mate, is it not? He doesn't take, right? Doesn't matter. Says mate in 7. I take him. He takes me, and now I use the diagonal anyway. Queen can't go there, because the pawn is now in the way. Queen e3 check. There's only one legal move. Rook f2, now it's checkmate. So really, really proud of that one. Sacrificing the bishop, throwing the rook up the board instead of going for the kind of, obvious pawn, pawn capture. 91.3 with one great move. Okay. So apparently I have, what's that? Oh, that's my opponent's blunder. Yeah, it didn't like that at all. It said at this point, White had to play h4 to stop Harry. Needed to stop Harry at all costs. It's like, Legolas, kill him. You know that scene? That scene. Yeah? That's the one, right? You have to stop Harry. Harry is the Urukai running through with the blooming firework getting ready to explode the gully under the impenetrable wall of Helm's Deep, right? You've got to stop it. Got to stop it. This is a move that I don't play enough. I know. When your opponent's h pawn is coming up towards your king, you need to counter Harry with your own Harry, right? Anyway, so fascinating stuff. If you're looking for a response to 1d4 that maybe isn't going to be sound, again, let's just check. We'll check the Explorer at the master level, right? Do they ever play this, right? So d4, this. So how many games have we seen e5? It's not the most popular. $285 games. There are 285 games at the master level on the chess.com database, and it is, apart from f6, it's the worst performing opening, right? So they take, and what about d6? d6 has been played 7 times, and White has won 6 of those games, right? So how do the masters, how do the title players deal with this opening? Right? Well, they don't push c4. That's not very good. Okay, so from this position, right, from this exact position, so this position's been seen like over 500 times. The best for White here is simply knight f3, apparently, according to this. But yeah, it's not too bad. g3's okay. Just go for the fianchetto, right? But they don't take here. Right, it's been done once, and White happened to win that game. Okay, and then it was bishop takes. But yeah, from this position, maybe this position's been seen. Don't know how they get to this 6 times, but yeah, bishop takes 5 times, and White has won 3, Black has won 2. Interesting stuff. There you go. They play knight 3, etc., etc. So we have this amazing library of stuff that you can research to your heart's content. So, get stuck in, enjoy yourself. But like I say, if you're looking for an opening against d4 that is spicy, aggressive, unsound, but you know what? It's only unsound once you start playing title players. Until then, knock yourself out, guys. Enjoy yourself. I am. Right, hope you've enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. See you later.